Well, here we are in late June, and the weather is still so cool that we can't believe it. It's uh, very, very pleasant sitting outside, and though we're having a lot of rain, it keeps things very cool. We're kind of like living in a rainforest right now. But I really enjoy the cool weather, as most of you know. It's very important to read and study Scripture in full context. And it's very important occasionally to read multiple translations to be sure that you're catching all of the gist of something. A good example is one of the Proverbs. It's found in 25:11. You've seen them on plaques and you've seen them on signs that you can hang in your house. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pictures of silver. That sounds like if you talk nicely to someone, compliment someone, encourage someone, that those are apples of gold. But, in full context, it's not just good words. Just recently, I was at a church, and it was one that I'd spoken a sermon the week before on worry. And a young man came up to me and said, you really did a good job last week, and it really spoke to my heart because I was going through a lot of things and I was worried about a lot of things, and it really helped me to stop the worrying. Those were apples of gold to me, but apples of gold don't have to be compliments. They don't have to be encouragement. And it's really important to look in context and at the various translations. So let me finish Proverbs 25:11 through 15 in the King James Version. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pictures of silver, as an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold, so is a wise reprover upon an obedient ear. So here we have the fact that someone who speaks wise reproving or rebuking is also very beautiful in the eye of the Lord. As a cold of snow in the time of harvest, so is a faithful messenger to them that send him, for he has refreshed the soul of his masters. Whoso boasteth himself as a false gift is like the clouds and the wind without rain. So here we see a contrast of using words wisely. Here we see using words in such a way that they are correcting or rebuking, and words that are just words, how they're like clouds without any rain. However, it can show you easily how you can better understand a passage of Scripture when you look at multiple translations. For example, here is the New American Standard Version of 11 through 15. Like apples of gold in the setting of silver is a word spoken in the right circumstances. Like an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold is a wise reprover to the listening ear. Like the cold of snow in the time of harvest is a faithful messenger to who was sent him, for he refreshes the soul of his masters. Like clouds and wind without rain is a man who boasts of his gifts falsely. By forbearance a ruler may be persuaded, and a soft tongue breaks the bone. A completely refreshing look at that particular proverb. Sometimes it's not a bad idea to look at the Amplified. Now, remember, the Amplified is not a translation. Amplified means that somebody has taken what they believe the passage says and added additional words so that it might drive home the point. And so here we have the Amplified version of Proverbs 25:11. A word fitly spoken in due season is like apples of gold in settings of silver. Like an earring or a nose ring of gold or an ornament of fine gold is a wise reprover to the ear that listens and obeys. Like the cold of snow brought from the mountains in a time of harvest, so is a faithful messenger to those who sent him, for he refreshes the life of his masters. Whoever falsely boasts of gifts, he does not give is like clouds of wind without rain. By long forbearance and calmness of spirit of a judge or a ruler is persuaded, and his soft speech breaks down the most bone-like resistance. So you can see the benefit of looking at multiple translations. You can see that a passage of scripture taken out of context and hung in a frame may not carry the full meaning of that passage of scripture, such as the apples of gold being like a picture of silver. We'd think that this only speaks about encouragement and about compliments, when in fact the very next verse talks about reproving, and how if a person listens and obeys, that's just as valuable as complimentary and encouraging words. So I hope that you'll use your words wisely. I hope that you'll think through what is the objective of your words. Are you trying to compliment? Are you trying to encourage? Or are you trying gently to reprove for someone who will listen? Sometimes reproof, when not received, only damages a relationship. But sometimes with those words of reproving to a person that will listen to you will bring about just as great a results as a word of encouragement or a word of compliment. That's your thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.